Hello, CraftyAndy here. These are my thoughts. Let's go over some comments. If you have any comments you'd like to share, just send them. And I'd probably, if they're good enough, I'll start reading them off. But I like this one here from Zach Sinclair. This is in relation to the worst job ever. Working for a company I helped start, where basically the owner just gave me money, a store, and told me to do everything else. Obviously, being an entry-level electronic repair technician at the time, I had no idea how to do any of this and only knew basic repairs, let alone marketing, I imagine. It was pretty horrible, and they refused to pay me after 3 months since we only got 6 jobs in our time opened. Damn, so I didn't even have enough funds to go past a year? Yeah, I have to wonder about some people too when I did those network marketing jobs, because some of the interviews I did for other companies that were just the same thing, these people were fucking nervous as fuck. I had one guy ask me what my favorite sports were, and it was just very awkward. Like, he was just going down a list of things you are supposed to ask when it comes to interviews. I bullshit my way through it, of course. There wasn't a single job interview where I didn't get a call back. I guess I got that good at it, but at the same time, these people will take very much anything with a heartbeat. So let's be real about that. Let's get into today's story regarding a video game I played back in the day. And I'm kind of tempted to play a little more now. So with recent postings of all these Undertale videos, I figured I'd give a nice little video game story that I've had for a while now. This one was regarding The Sims. Now, this is around the time when I was a young lad just coming out of high school, or just nearing the end of high school, I should say, and I had a lot of low prospects about myself and my future. So let's just say I wasn't very positive about it. So I decided one day to just make myself in The Sims. I went by the expectations that were instilled into me that I'd just be living alone, by myself, with little to no support or friends. So that's what I did. I built a small little shack. I figured this is probably what my life is gonna be like when I hit adulthood, whether I like it or not. I just had no drive, I had no guidance, I had no reason to pursue anything grandiose. Why would I, when the bulk of humanity treated me so shitty over the years? What stake would I have in the human race in a society that rejected me in such a way? But I digress. So here I am by myself, cooking microwave meals, working a measly job, not really making much headway, and I figured this would be my life. This is it. Needless to say, it wasn't really helping with my self-esteem to recreate a simulation of myself living in such a mundane condition. I don't know why I just decided to do this. I don't know. I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think it would help me feel better. Didn't make me feel much worse. It's just, I guess it was an effort to try to make me feel content with the future prospects that more than likely I'd just be like an everyday loser and would never amount to much of anything. And then my character died. He made a few connections, and then next thing you know, he's dead by himself. And now the house is empty. Some people not come around, knock at the door, no answer. The mail piles up. Papers start piling up every day. It was very eerie, considering the game just doesn't stop when that happens. It keeps going and going. The food was rotting. Flies were everywhere. And of course I had to stop. There wasn't anything else to do, but it's something that's going to stick with me for the rest of my life, because this was way back in 2004, and here we are, 2020, 16 years later, and it's still with me. That whole low expectation of my own life. What could have been if things didn't play out the way they did. I can say that. I can say that if I didn't come out of my shell at all, this would have probably been it. I would have just been that weirdo that works some measly 9-to-5 job for the rest of his life, for 30 years, the same job every day. Probably have like a little pet if I could afford one. I don't think anyone can afford a pet if they're just living by themselves with one income anymore. But that's another topic altogether. But that's my terrifying video game experience. What are some of your experiences in video games? Let me know. Other than that, those are just my thoughts.